Go back and pick the other end, shall we? Although it feels really weird that we're going to have to betray her after saving her life.
"30 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes."
Luna and I stepped out of the AB room.
Why? What happened to... It's not fair to betray someone who isn't voting.
That was before she killed me.
I thought...
There was nothing I could think of to say. Even I didn't really understand why I'd picked betray instead. It had almost felt unconscious, like some other part of my mind was making the decision. Perhaps I'd been possessed by some sort of evil spirit that had moved my finger to the betray button against my will. Right, well, we should go see the results.
Really? We already know what they are. It's just simple math.
Yes, we made Luna sad. But we're still alive. The look in her eyes was more painful than any punch I'd ever taken. I turned away and almost ran towards the projector. Anything to get away from those eyes.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Everybody betrays? Yep, everybody betrays, full across the board.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
So much for the situation Zero wanted to avoid the most, huh? What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No. How can Alice's vote be betray? That's not possible. Alice? She was standing inside the second room from the left. The room that should have been empty. Why? My mind was still reeling. Where had she come from? As I was trying to form a sentence, she began to move towards us. From around me, I heard a chorus of muted gasps. It seemed we were united in our surprise and confusion. Alice drew to a stop in front of me and glanced up at the display.
Thought you'd get an easy couple points, huh? Not so easy when you have to look your victim in the eye, is it? Coward.
Me a coward? You got some balls saying that to me after you picked betray. Why are you even here?
You gave me the antivirus, didn't you?
Yeah, and then you betrayed me. Thanks for that.
Tenmyoji told me. Thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, honestly.
But you should still be under the effects of the anesthetic.
Yes, well, I still am. A bit. I have a throbbing headache, and I can barely stand. It's horrible. I'm more resistant to anesthetics than most people. A result of my training. I have a feeling Zero Senior knew that. They gave me way more than the standard dose of that gas when they kidnapped me. In any event, a few minutes ago I woke up in the infirmary. Tenmyoji explained what was going on, and I got here as fast as I could.
So you showed up right after we gone into the AB room?
Yes. Right in the nick of time, too. About 10 seconds before the deadline, as I recall.
You did that just so you could betray us?
Right. What? Don't I get to do that? I mean, it turned out to be the right thing to do, didn't it? You two chose betray. If I'd stayed back there, I'd have lost 2 points.
So you're saying it was self-defense?
Yes.
You're full of shit. Self-defense my ass. You chose betray because you wanted out. You had 6 BP. If I'd picked ally, you would have had 9. That's what you were trying to do, right?
So what if I was?
Are you serious? You would have killed me! Look, I only have 1 BP. You were this close to murdering me. Just admit it. You were planning to kill me so you could escape.
Don't be stupid. I knew you'd choose betray. There was...
Tell the truth!
That is the truth. Why am I the only one getting the 3rd degree here? Look at those results.
Well, we know what the results are in the other timeline, and you literally killed us. That's why you're getting the 3rd degree.
2 other people just tried to kill someone.
Yeah, but they aren't me. Fine, Dio.
Yes. If Dio had chosen ally, Fi would have killed Tenmyoji. And if she'd chosen ally, Dio would have killed her.
She tried to kill us and did kill us. Both ways.
I don't want to be rude, but it looks like Clover and Kay tried to trick one another. Not that it seems to have worked. If either one had chosen ally, the other one would have 9 BP right now.
I turned to look at the results again. Before, I'd only been looking at my own. I didn't realize that there was only one word across all the roster: betray. Whatever trust we managed to build had fallen apart. Everyone was suspicious of everyone else. Had it been the bombs? Or had it been something else? Whatever the reason, if it kept up, we'd never manage to escape. We'd be trapped in the cycle of 0-point rounds for the rest of our lives. Something had to be done. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Alright guys, pay attention. You've probably already all figured this out, but we can't keep going like this. If we don't start being a little more trusting, we're never going to get out of here. We need to work together. I might as well have been talking to a wall.
My apologies, Sigma. But I need to think on something for a bit. I would appreciate being left alone.
Okay.
I'll be leaving too. Things are getting a little too intense here for my delicate constitution. Sorry.
Dio?
Well, in that case...
At 2-5?
Yeah, sorry.
Without another word, she turned and left the warehouse. Dio and Kay quickly followed suit.
See? There's your answer. In the end, everyone's just thinking about themselves. So I would appreciate it if you could not treat me like I'm the only villain here.
Yeah, but you were the one that directly affected me, so I'm still gonna yell at you.
Come on, Clover. Let's go.
Hold on! I'm coming! Are you feeling okay? I was really worried, you know?
I watched them walk away, Clover practically jumping with delight to have Alice back. Before long, they reached the yellow door and disappeared beyond it.
Everyone's gone.
You aren't going to leave too?
No,
Are you sure? I chose betray.
I know. But I still believe in you, Sigma. I think your hand must have just slipped or something. Right?
My chest hurt, and when I blinked, I felt something hot and wet prick the corners of my eyes. Luna, I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, the metallic rumble of the doors closing echoed through the warehouse.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the Star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh?
Yes, as long as we have the star keys. That means we can keep playing the AB game over and over, too.
I think we've seen the keys. I think we've seen them before.
Sigma? Could you show me your bracelet?
I'm pretty sure we saw them at least when we went through the security room with Phi way back. Why?
Do you remember what Zero Jr. said?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, so let's see here. I'm a cyan pair. What about you?
I'm a magenta pair.
I wonder what the others are.
They could be anything, I suppose. We won't know until we have a look.
We got about 80 minutes until the next set of chromatic doors open. So, what should we do now?
Everyone else has gone off on their own.
Yeah, physically and emotionally. I really don't like how this is going. It won't matter how many times we repeat the AB game if nobody trusts anybody else. We'll never be able to get out of here.
Maybe it would help if we all had a common goal. Something to unite our hearts and minds.
Yeah, but we've already got something like that. We all want to get out of here. That seems like a pretty clear goal to me, but everybody else chose betray. Including me.
Well, what if we have an enemy?
An enemy?
Yes, a common foe. Like the person who set the bombs, for instance.
After coming back from the lab, I told her about the bomb while she gave Alice and Quark the Accelovier. Yeah, that might work. If we can figure out which one of us planted those bombs, and everyone else would work together against them.
Right.
But how do we figure out who it is?
Well, do you have any clues?
Clues, huh? That's right! The memory card! I pulled it out of my pocket and held it out toward her.
What's this?
I told you, a memory card. It was under the bomb we found in the lab. I think whoever set the bomb dropped it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what's on it, though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card reader.
Oh, I guess we can't really use it then.
Until we remember about the one in the,
Wait a second.
infirmary.
You know what? I think I might have seen something.
Huh?
Yes, I remember. The infirmary. I saw it when I was searching the infirmary with Dio and Quark.
You know what? Something I would have come up with about this point in time, if we were actually wanting everybody to vote ally, is to say, okay, during the next round of the AB game, we all need to pick ally for X, Y, and Z reasons. If anybody picks betray, it means that they're probably the one that set up the bombs. Because, you know, they're still going to try and cheat. So if anybody picks betray, we beat the stuffing out of them. How does that work? Seems like a plan to me. I don't know.
There was a memory card just like that one.
Then...
Yes! I think we can see what's on it. The computer there should be able to read it.
Luna and I exploded into the infirmary, nearly running into Alice, Clover, and Tin Myoji. Quark was there as well, of course, but he was just as we left him, asleep on the bed.
What are you doing here?
I opened my mouth to retort, then thought better of it. If I really wanted people to start trusting each other, well, real change starts at home. As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb and the memory card and how we'd come to the infirmary in hopes that we could discover the contents of the latter.
Okay.
Then stick it in already!
Go ahead.
Right. Just as Luna had said, there was a small slot under the screen, exactly the right size to fit a memory card. Within moments, the screen was filled with what appeared to be random letters. What is this?
6 rows, 22 letters each.
It looks like the odd rows use one set of letters, and the even rows use another set.
In other words, the first 2 rows just repeat.
Yeah.
Is this some kind of code or something?
It doesn't look random to me. I think there might be a pattern. I just don't know what it is.
Was there anything else on there?
No, it doesn't look like it.
So all we get is this gibberish. Hey, Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up?
Does any of this look familiar to you, Clover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen something like this before? Maybe during your training?
Training?
This is...
So you do recognize it.
All right, knock it off, you two. How about you share it with the rest of the class?
Alice sighed and stretched her neck from side to side.
I believe this is an encoded message from a terrorist organization.
What?
They call themselves the Myrmidons.
Name means nothing to me. Myrmidons. For some reason, I felt like I'd heard that name before.
What are the Myrmidons?
Put simply, they're a bunch of thugs who are trying to destroy or dismantle most of human civilization.
So this thing we're looking at, you think it's theirs?
Well, they have a number of different codes, but I do think this is one of them.
Then the bomb?
It was set by one of the Myrmidons, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, I can't say for sure, of course, but it seems likely.
Yeah. Damn, I have got a ton of questions for you. Let me start with this one. What the heck does that thing say?
I don't know.
What?
How am I supposed to decode it? I don't have the key. Without a key, it would take literally hundreds of years to decode.
What about you, Clover?
Well, if Alice doesn't know how, I sure don't.
See.
Not much we can do then. We can come back to that code stuff later. Got another question. Alice. Clover. Who the hell are you? Why do you know about this code?
That's...
You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state or something like that. Just what the hell kind of job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do.
Sorry, but I can't.
Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
That's idiotic. Of course I'm
Really?
not.
And where's your proof? For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
I'm not your enemy. I'm your ally. I'm your friend. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please tell us. Please. We need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. Fine. If you won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons. What else do you know about them?
I'm sorry.
Before I could blink, she leapt up and run out of the room. Hey! Wait! Alice! I took off after her.
How long are you going to keep following me?
Until you tell me what you know.
Then why don't you just ask Clover?
Clover?
You already know she works with me.
Well, yeah.
Then why don't you...
I wanted to hear it from you.
Why?
That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters? Or this garden? We got paired up for 2 separate rounds. That means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
She'd spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. We walked down the path to where it ended next to the pond. I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench. We gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
What? Why?
I tried to kill you.
Well, yeah, that is definitely a point off, but you know. You mean in the AB game?
Yes. I was so scared. Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game. And then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could. Things just went downhill from there.
What do you mean?
I remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. And everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real. Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain. I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse.
That was probably the Radical 6.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that. But when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So all I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could. It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you. God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared. See? I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it!
What? Do what?
Kill me! Get it over with!
What the hell, Alice? I'm not gonna kill you. I don't even hate you.
You're lying!
Much.
I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
Yeah, we know that already. We've been over that. Come on, calm down. No one's killing anyone. A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek. Then another, and another, leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off, taking her tears with it.
Why are you doing this? You know, you kind of remind me of my father.
That's who you were after, right? The people who
Yes.
killed your dad? Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know. About myself. And about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
What, crying? I don't remember any crying. There was no crying here.
Good. All right, then.
Alice took a deep breath and began. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which is why we moved. Both my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the US. For my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. She was crying because she was finally unloading the stress of all the, of keeping herself together. She finally let that drop and actually let herself get emotional. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and went with no sign of him. even I began to realize something terrible had happened. It wasn't until several years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her, as a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often, when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line of her face I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I missed my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned the full-ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they'd been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. The Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now, at last, I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or age. The Myrmidons are closely associated with the cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding, but trying to pin any kind of misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jell-O to a wall. You just put it in a cup first. It works beautifully that way. Come on, there's a post on Tumblr about it. Brother is supposed to be fairly advanced in years, as rumors say he's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. Then, one day, I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. On the way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind the steering wheel. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, I got what was just about the last answer I'd expected. They told me they'd been locked up inside of the very building I'd been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who'd kidnapped them in the first place. My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. There was also a 6th person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. A middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, had been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other 4, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the free world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. More specifically, I suppose, H was a member of Free the Soul and very committed to their cause. So why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently, it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenetic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of it before, so I'll try and give you a quick rundown. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousness of certain people. To be honest, it might be simpler just to call it telepathy. The SOIS had heard of this particular ability before, and had actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time, it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with the threat of that magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Because she'd been a test subject in H's experiment, we knew she had the ability to access a morphogenetic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I'd hoped that our investigation might also give me a lead on where I'm on my father's whereabouts. At last, I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. And see, the thing is, I think that's a retcon, really. I don't think the Free the Soul business was even thought of until this game. And they decided to retroactively tie Ace's motivations to them. Retroactively. So at one point, yeah, it was about his face blindness. But the writers kind of went, you know what? We need a better reason than that. So anyway, I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was a fake, and Culver was captured almost immediately. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All the conspirators who would pretend to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last, in a basement room, I found her. She'd been tied to a chair, but on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as if he'd just been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. He was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later that I learned that he died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They had beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He'd said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell her masters at the SOIS to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they killed him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me, or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had, at least, been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me there was something I needed to see. There, in the morgue, was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers, comprised of 8s and 9s. It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message, but they were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. I broke down crying right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started. There was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness. Not for the monsters who put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay, even if I had to die to do it. That night, I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. I need to take a drink here. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the motherlode we'd been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. And yeah, why wasn't Alice wearing the suit? Maybe she associates that suit with her father's death now. I don't know. But why hasn't she been wearing this suit? The suit looks good on her. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time, our operation would succeed. This time, I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time. We gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold. But then, on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared. So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the AB room?
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons and me. I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Thanks. She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up.
We should go back.
Not yet. Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon. Right?
Yes.
And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do that?
I told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
And I'm pretty sure at this point this is actually a knowledge lock. I'm pretty sure. But I don't recall ever running into it, but it may very well be a lock because, well, we got the key in another timeline already.
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. The Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Wait, a long string of numbers? Could that be... Yep, here we go. If we had not run through this, I'm pretty sure this would be a knowledge lock. Seven 8153-61098 83809-42419-90551.
What the hell?
Achievement unlocked. He was convicted of a string of numbers. I was almost as surprised as she was. The numbers had just kind of appeared in my mind, and I was saying them before I knew what I was doing. Alice looked at me incredulously, and I stared back.
Where did... Wait. Can you say that again?
78153-61098 83809-42419-90551.
That's 198,449,351 to the third power.
What?
That number you just told me. Prime factor decomposition on that number gets you 198,449,351 to the third power.
You're talking about reducing an integer to a series of prime numbers that you multiply together to get it, right? Like, if you have 30, then you get 2 times 3 times 5, right?
Exactly. You probably learned that in junior high, right?
So you're saying that 198449351 is a prime. If you multiply by itself 3 times, you get the number I said multiple times by now.
Yes.
Don't tell me you just did all that in your head.
I did do all of that in my head. Simple mental arithmetic.
What? No way. That's impossible.
I told you. I'm better at math than most people.
That's not better at math.
Look at you. You just recited a huge string of numbers. That seems pretty astounding, too. Where did you find that number anyway?
I didn't know what to say. What would I tell her? That it just came to me?
Can't tell me, huh? Fine. I'm pretty sure that's the key to the code, though. I know the Myrmidons use prime factors for their keys. And there aren't a lot of 25-digit numbers that turn out to be the third power of a prime number. I think there's a very good chance that number you memorized was specifically created by someone.
Could you explain that with small
Well,
words?
look at the prime factors of your number. 198,449,351 to the third power. I think that's our hint for cracking the code. You still don't get it? Try to remember the code we saw in the infirmary. What did it say on the monitor?
I think the first row was CQUJHNMTEONERAXDFMIOVP.
And the second row?
YOLWXYPXSVZEQGTKRTLED. I think. And they just repeat.
Wow, you've got a pretty impressive memory. We could really use someone like you back at the...
Well, keep going. How do we decode that?
You use 198,449,351 to point you to the right letters.
How do you do that?
Well, the first number is 1, so take the first letter. The next number is 9, so go 9 letters over from the first one. Then 8 from that one. Just keep going until you get something. Make sense?
I ran over what you said in my head. The prime number Alice gave me was 198449351. So what would we get if we picked out letters like she'd explained? Yeah, very simple math. Anyone can do it. L T First letter would be C from the top left. Then you'd move 9 to the right, which would give you O. Then 8 more to the right. Eventually we'd get a word. And that word was... Decode the password using 198449351. You will have 6 chances to succeed, fail, and the game is over. The code sheet won't be displayed so when you input your answer, so it would be wise to solve it now. Your key is, as said several times. Remember, the code is this. Closing this window takes you to the input screen, where you don't get to see that big chain, so... Completed. I did it! Completed. That's it. That's the answer.
Completed? Are you sure?
Yeah. I did exactly what you told me to do, and the word I got is completed. Well, actually, it's completed, completed, completed. The code and the letters repeat every 2 lines. It just repeats.
Well, I can't remember the code like you can, but if you're certain, I believe you.
I'm definitely certain.
All right, then. I wonder what completed is supposed to mean, though.
What? Aside from the obvious, you mean? I'm guessing here it means mission complete. So that's what the transmitter was for.
Huh? What are you talking about? What transmitter?
I barely even heard her. Suddenly, my mind was full of memories that hadn't been there a moment before. It was like a wave had washed away the sand, revealing a bed of precious gems underneath.
Holy Father, Holy Brother, Holy Master, my sacred mission is at last complete. With these 2 hands, mankind is saved. I am your will made flesh. In your name, I give thanks.
Damn it! Why hadn't I realized it before? I could remember a series of numbers, but not this? At least I remembered it now. Dio was a member of the Myrmidons. And not just any member, he was their leader. That meant he had to be the one who planted the bombs.
Hey, are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Then answer my question. What the hell was that? What's this about a transmitter?
I didn't trust myself to try and explain it to her. More than likely, she'd just think I was insane. Even I could barely make sense of the sudden influx of new information.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of the Myrmidons.
If I was... Oh, somebody has sent me a gift. Oh, nifty. The Telltale series for Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you very much, my friend. The timing was a little off, but you know. Maybe it'll solve itself in a minute. Anyway. If I was, do you think I'd really reveal myself like this? Out of nowhere, Clover appeared.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Really?
We're all down in the Floor B warehouse. Well, all of us but Luna and Quark.
Why?
We still got 45 minutes until the white door's open.
I know that.
Oh, okay. Hey, wait a minute. I thought UK and Quark didn't know about the white doors.
Tenmyoji told us about them. He said he'd show us where they were, so we all followed him down to the Floor B warehouse.
I'm assuming you left Quark with Luna?
Yeah. Anyway, when we showed up, Phi and Kay were already there.
So?
Well, all of a sudden, Phi, Tenmyoji, and Dio all started yelling at each other.
What?
Why? Did something happen?
According to Clover, the last AD game had been the cause of their fight. Even though Tenmyoji only had 1 BP each, Phi had chosen Betray. They started the fight, and since Dio had pressed Betray on behalf of his team, eventually he got dragged in too.
That seems odd. Phi only had 1 BP too. Her choice seems like a perfectly valid defensive move.
Ugh! Just come with me! Kay's trying to calm them down, but there's only one of him.
Okay. Come on, Alice. Let's go.
Coming.
All four of them were still there when we arrived. They seemed to have calmed down a bit, but the tension in the air was almost visible. I felt like I'd stepped into a room full of flammable gas. Even the smallest spark would turn the whole place into a raging inferno. Even Kay, usually so calm and collected, was standing ramrod straight with his hand balled into a fist at his side. I looked at Alice, pursed my lips, and then headed over to the angry knot of people occupying most of the room. Clover told me what's going on. This whole thing is stupid. You need to knock it off. That won't be volatile in the least.
Stupid? What about this is stupid? We're talking about my life, you self-righteous dick!
I know, but yelling at each other isn't going to solve your problem. The best thing for us to do right now is to trust each other and get through this. Wouldn't you agree?
Hard to trust someone who tried to kill me.
Same to you. I told you letting Dio vote was a stupid idea. What did you think he was gonna do? You might as well have pressed the button yourself.
I couldn't just leave Quark alone.
That's no excuse. And where do you get off telling me I shouldn't have picked Betray?
Did you even think that through? What, I was supposed to pick Ally?
If I'd done that, I'd be dead right now.
I could say the same thing to you. Damn good thing Dio didn't choose Ally.
Please, that's enough from both of you. Sigma's right. This isn't the time to be bickering with each other.
Oh, you don't get to talk. You tried to betray Clover and escape on your own.
Perhaps. But I think that's better than nearly killing someone.
Well, I only did it so that she wouldn't kill Tenmyoji.
Ugh. God damn it. Enough already. I roared with fury, and my voice echoed and rebounded off the walls of the warehouse. Everyone fell silent. I didn't know how long that silence would last, so I decided to put it all on the table. There was only one way I was going to be able to take control of the situation. Guys, listen to me. We really don't have time for this. I was met with a number of glares, but I soldiered on. See, the thing is, I figured out who planted the bombs.
What? Is this what you were talking about earlier?
Sort of, yeah. I know which one of you it is.
Well, spit it out then.
Please, explain what's going on here.
I don't think I need to. They're going to admit their guilt in just a few minutes.
What?
You're all going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Or I guess I should say Dio's mouth.
What are you on? You think I set those bombs?
Yes, I do.
Hey, if you're gonna accuse me, you better have some pretty damn good evidence, pal.
I'm not accusing you. I'm just stating a fact.
Oh yeah? Where the hell did you get that fact?
Fun as it was, I knew taunting alone would be enough to make Dio confess. He'd just play dumb. He was good at it. And I'd get nothing. That meant I was going to have to trick him. Well, you see, I'm actually from Free the Soul.
Free the Soul? What's that? Some kind of hippie shoe company?
Don't play dumb, Dio. Or should I call you Left? Brother ordered me to come here. Keep an eye on you. It was quick, but for just a moment I saw his eyes twitch. I leapt on that moment of weakness like a hungry dog on a steak. Fine. Skepticism is understandable, admirable even, but perhaps this will convince you. I pressed forward, pulling out every fact I could remember. I told Dio about his brother's background, and how this younger brother Left had been murdered. I mentioned casually that the Myrmidons were all clones of a single person. So? Still not convinced? How about this? 781-536-109-8838-0942-41990551. Do a little prime factor decomposition on that, and you'll get 198449351 to the third power. If I'm not who I say I am, how on earth could I possibly know that?
What? No, that's not possible.
Finally. So, let's start over, shall we? I was sent here to watch your every move. It seems our wise and noble brother doesn't trust you. He suspects betrayal.
No! You're lying!
I assure you I'm not. But, if you don't believe me, why don't you go outside and call him yourself with the transmitter?
No. No! You have to be lying! Brother trusts me! That's why he chose me for this mission! Why would he make me the leader of the Myrmidons if he...
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
I said, why would he have made me the leader of the Myrmidons if...
I grinned.
Wait. What the hell? Are you fucking kidding me?
Sorry, Dio. I've never even seen brother.
What the hell was all that? How did you know all those things?
Dunno. Maybe I was divinely inspired.
Don't give me that shit!
What's going on?
What are these Myrmidons?
Dio and I stared at one another while Clover and Tenmyoji quickly explained to Phi and Kay about the memory card and the number 2 bomb, and about the code we found that was from a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. Yeah, Sigma managing to actually get very, very competent for a very brief period of time. And how was your nap there, Maverinthia?
So you mean to say someone from the Myrmidons planted the bombs?
And Dio pretty much just admitted to doing it?
Yep.
Bastards. I'll never forgive you.
I heard a low, furious muttering behind me and turned to see Alice, her lips pulled back into a snarl.
I am going to kill you!
Her voice rose to a scream as she charged towards Dio. He ducked out of the way smoothly and pulled something from his pocket.
Whoa there. I like my women a little feisty, but you're taking it a little too far, sweetheart. Tone it down.
Horrible and full of nightmares. Ooh, sorry to hear that.
What?
You see this? You know what it is, don't you?
Oh my god. Is that the detonator?
Exactly. And I assume you know what happens if I press this button?
Yes. I think I do. I'm guessing it'll set off both of the bombs.
Well, I wouldn't say both.
You mean there's still a number 1 bomb we haven't found?
Correct. And there's one more, too.
No. There are 4 bombs?
Exactly. I've planted 4 bombs. They're the ones numbered 1, 2, and 3, but there's also one more. Bomb number 0. Add all that up and you're looking at about 4 tons of explosive power. Those go off, and it's all over. That's enough oomph to turn this whole place into a smoking crater.
Aren't you forgetting something?
That'd kill you too.
So, I'm ready for that. I've got spares.
Spares? Is that what Sigma was talking about?
Yeah, clones.
I heard Alice whisper something to Clover.
Let's go, Clover. Show him all that training wasn't for nothing.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Right.
Before I had a chance to ask them what was going on, they moved.
Die, you bastard! Yeah!
She roared and leapt towards Dio, Clover following just behind. Alice threw a punch at Dio's face, and as he dodged, Clover spun out from behind her. Dio grunted and turned to focus on Alice, but Clover darted in and snatched the detonator from his hand.
Clover, get him!
Right! Sigma, catch!
Huh? Before I could respond, Clover had thrown the detonator at me. I scrambled to grab it out of the air and held it to my chest.
Damn it! Stop! Let me go! Still let go of me, you asshole!
Yelling didn't do him any good, and Dio found himself subdued by the skillful teamwork of Alice and Clover. Strangely, though, once they had a hold of him, he stopped struggling. I was reminded of a gazelle with its neck in the mouth of a lion. Had he surrendered? Or did he have some trick up his sleeve? Didn't feel right. I didn't have to wait long for my misgivings to prove true. The detonator in my hand suddenly began to flash. What?
Ha! Serves you right.
What are you laughing at?
You, her, all of you. God, you're stupid.
What? Why?
See that detonator you threw to Sigma? You activated it. If it gets more than a meter away from me, it sets itself off. We figured someone might try to take it away, so we put in a little safeguard. Since you two were kind enough to take it away from me, the bombs have gone from remote control to countdown timer. Go ahead and destroy the detonator if you want. Won't make any difference now. The bombs are gonna go off no matter what.
How long do we have?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Oh no.
My condolences.
What can we do to stop them?
I told you that already. First, we need the device that allows us to input information. Then we plug it into each bomb and enter the codes.
Hey Alice, who the hell are you? How do you know all this?
None of your damn business. Just tell me where the input device is.
Well, that's none of your damn business. Fuck! Stop! You're gonna break it!
Keep going!
Of course. That's the plan.
Please, stop!
Just tell me what I want to know.
Yeah, never say that to someone who's already wants to kill you to begin with, so really wishes you a lot of pain, and is in a pretty good position to actually, if not just, you know, dislocate several joints, break things. Yeah, we have replacements for him if he breaks, it's fine.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's in my coat, the right-hand pocket.
Clover, check it out.
Right.
She nodded and started digging through his pockets. After a few minutes...
It's no use! There's nothing here!
Did you lie to me?
No, I swear, keep looking.
Oh, wait. There is something in here.
Clover pulled her hand from his pocket and held it out. Is that a pill? Like, for medicine?
Hey, what is this?
Huh? I can't see it. Bring it over here.
Clover frowned and moved closer to Dio, holding the pill out towards him. Suddenly, he moved, his right hand snaking out to grab the pill from Clover's hand. Before anyone could react, he shoved it to his mouth. I heard a tiny crack as he bit down on it. Almost immediately, he grimaced in pain.
Shit!
What? What was that?
Poison, I guess.
What?
Damn! How could I be so stupid?
His eyes rolled up into his head, and flecks of spittle began to trickle out from the corners of his mouth. I grabbed him by the hair and shook. What the hell are you doing? Where's the input device?
Lost it. In my couch. Back home.
Don't screw with me! No, Kay actually did kill him in the pod. We went over that. Kay actually did kill him.
Fine. Don't tell us. How about you give us the deactivation codes instead?
Deactivation? You guys are persistent. Fine. Not gonna do you much good anyway. I'll tell you. But you only get one. This is the deactivation code for Bomb 3.
Just writing something down, don't mind me.
Ready? LXQ LHC NMR.
What about the other three? Tell us the other three. He didn't even seem to hear me.
My body will be a part of the foundation of a bright future.
Okay. Oh, wait. You missed that entire story then. Ooh. Yeah, you're going to want to go back and watch the video from the time you missed. Because as they were dying on the floor, basically, as they were laying about to die, after Sigma had run back and found out that he remembered that they had an antidote for tubocurarine, he injected Phi with it. And then he went to go talk to Kay and found out that Kay had been able to remove his suit. So at one point they went into the lounge. Kay said he wanted to go lay down. So Sigma left him alone, only for Kay to slip his armor off, put it in the lounge, go around the long way, kill Dio, and then come back, distract him, and get back in the suit. His voice was weak and more foam was dribbling out of his mouth.
Such a beautiful world. May brother live in everlasting glory.
Those were the last words Dio spoke. He died with a strange, happy smile. Damn.
He only gave us the password for one of the bombs. This is bad. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
How much time have we got?
25 minutes.
Are you sure?
Yes. When he told us the time, I checked my bracelet. It said exactly 30 minutes.
You mean the bombs are gonna go off the same time the next set of doors opens?
Yes. The time on your bracelet is the time we have left.
Ooh. So, 25 minutes.
This isn't good. I was hoping that we might be able to escape through the white doors, but...
It takes 5 minutes for the primary door to open and close. So...
Yes, I know. There's no way we can get through them before the explosion happens.
Well, there's no point just standing around. We should start looking. We need 3 things. The password input device.
And the remaining 2 bombs, right?
Right.
we also need passwords for all the bombs other than number 3.
Exactly.
Maybe Dio has a note or something.
Hold on. Let me check.
She knelt down and quickly checked his pockets and sleeves, then sat back on her heels, frustrated.
Damn. He's clean.
She looked pale.
Then we'll just have to hope we find it somewhere. Tenmyoji, can you go tell Luna what's happened?
Right. I'm on it.
Good. The rest of you, let's move out. We can do this. Let's go.
We all took off at a run, heading to different parts of the building. But all of our searching turned up nothing. And as we searched, the clock kept ticking. Then at last, the chromatic doors opened.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
Our time had run out. We watched the white doors open. Were they doors to heaven or to hell? The thought barely had time to flutter through my mind before everything went white. We did didn't even have time to say goodbye. 1,000 emotions flooded my brain in those last moments. Why? How? How had we ended up this way? Then a blistering wave of heat, like the surface of the sun itself, wiped out any lingering thoughts. My consciousness slipped away into a bottomless pool of darkness. Neither heaven nor hell, only the void. And there we go! Yet another good ending. Boy, we're full of great endings today, aren't we? Everybody keeps dying horribly. But like I said, we're on the home stretch. I don't know if we're going to be able to, I don't know if we're going to be able to finish this out next week, but we will come awfully close. Depending on how close we get, I may just go an extra long stream next week. We will see. But we still got some endings to clear out. What's the best ending? The entire universe blows up? I can't really tell you what the best ending is. Not even as a joke. Because they're all spoilerish. So we will see. We will see how long it takes me to get through the, get through what we need to get through, because there are two major pieces of information we gotta find out. Yeah, we're still short two major things that we need. And yes, you are expected, all these bomb passwords we've been getting, and the way he sat there and the way Kay sat there and told us to remember the string of letters he got, you got to write that down, or else you'll have to come back and look at it later, because the game's not going to give it to you. The game's going to expect you to know it. Which is why I write these things down, because I can't find my notebook from the original time I did all this. I mean, I'm sure all the answers are online, but why? Why bother with that when I can just do it as we go? I mean, obviously the best ending so far was killing ourselves, right? That's the best ending ever. I didn't read what that achievement said. But we got two major pieces of information to get and 4 endings. Considering we got 4 endings tonight. Or did we? No, we only got 3, didn't we? We had 2. Oh well. Because this is where you learn all about Alice. That's how it's Alice's ending. This ending comes with the scene in the garden where she tells you all about herself and how she became an agent of the SOIS and how she found her father dead when she rescued Clover. That's how this is Alice's ending. We learned her backstory, basically. It's more so her ending than Tenmyoji's ending was his, because, well, with that ending we learned about freaking Quark and not Tenmyoji. Go figure. I mean, we kind of learned about Tenmyoji, but we learned almost nothing compared to all the stuff we need to learn about him anyway. So anyway, yeah. Next week we will be back with I'll give it a 50-50 shot on whether we finish this thing out next week or not. I'm going to say probably not, but there is a chance, depending on how fast we get through what few escape rooms are left. And I can't remember how much else is going on. I will probably be back tomorrow with more Little Nightmares, if nothing else. Try to get through the next section of the game. And then I've got another thing planned that I need to actually try and do, because I have been very, very rude about at least one person's gifts of games they've been getting me. And I need to remedy that just a little bit. So I want to stream something else tomorrow after we get through at least one more section of Little Nightmares. But then next week, we will be back with more Virtue's Last Reward. Revenge for the Sponge Monkeys. Spunga Monkeys. We like the moon, 'cause it is good to us. Those are not evil, by the way. They are still not evil. Anyway, take care. Stop. Anyway, take care, folks. I will see you back probably tomorrow. Definitely next week. Anyway, later, guys. Take care. Rest well. What have you. See ya.